like, or living in a community, whatever the preferences are. But it's talking about the freedom that is always there, no matter whether the flow of life is nice or not nice. The freedom that's in nature to everything, which the birds, the dogs, the cats, the animals, the young children all are, and the humans are as well, but the humans have seemingly got lost in complicated thinking, in this world of believing that they are someone in time. And time only arises with complicated thinking, and the person only arises in that time-bound reality. It's all become one, and it's become like an energetic feeling and expression, so it feels so incredibly real. If it was just empty thoughts, it wouldn't be a problem, but it's become like an energetic feeling that you are somebody inside the body, and that you know your life, you know what's happening, and you know where you're going, and you know what you've got to get. And with all these ideas comes the conflict. The first idea, though, is you are a body and that you are moving in time. Then after that, all the other ideas come, and then conflict comes, because you're constantly fighting with what is, what's actually happening to your idea of what should be happening. And you're constantly looking for freedom in time, for freedom in the flow of life. And there's no freedom in the flow of life. Life's a bitch. Can also be very nice, but everything dies. Everything you love so dearly will rot and die. Society... What did I say? Wrong? Yeah, let's hope you die first before you rot.
Jackie's very quick, isn't she?
Yeah. And society and the human race are always trying to paint this beautiful picture of the flow. That you've got to get this beautiful picture, this beautiful happy ending. Like in films, we're obsessed with the happy ending, and I don't know if any of you guys get it. I get it. I'm like, just die. don't love her. It always is the same. Have any of you seen Gravity? Have you seen Gravity? It's such a good film, but there was points in this that she's really fighting to survive, and there was points where I was like, just die, just let it go. She was determined to get to the ground. I think there was a point where she thought about wanting to die, but
well, she thought she hadn't.
My friend Paul at the same, we didn't speak, but he was having the same feelings. He was like, oh, come on, Hollywood. I think you would die in that situation. So society's always painting this picture, and it's getting more and more intense in the Western world, this advertising, the TVs, the film, of this perfect life in the flow, and it's impossible. It's going to be more than likely a life of half pleasure, half pain. Some will get more pleasure, some will get more pain. But that's it. The flow of life is in opposites, and it isn't this perfect picture. It's gruesy and bloody. In order for these bodies to survive, other things have to die. It's not a pretty picture, the flow of life, always. It can be really beautiful as well, and really lovely stories. So this person gets the idea that happiness is found in the flow. Happiness is found in what's going to happen in the future, in what I describe my life to be, what I think of myself to be. Happiness is me being a nice person, in me being a compassionate person, in me having a good job, in me having grandkids or a great family. That is nice, having all these nice things. But that comes and goes and is always changing. And it isn't what you're looking for. And so non-duality is pointing back to the original experience and pointing to the freedom in the original experience. The original experience, which is also the dreaming, but we're just going to have to leave that bit out for a moment while I try and explain this. The original experience begins to get quite funky, because in this moment, right here, right now, where is you? In this moment, where is this world? And where are all these things that you've been dreaming of? And it begins, and is it actually happening, this? What is it actually happening? These are not answerable questions, but it begins to get quite mysterious, and this can be scary for that one that's always tried to understand things so it can control the environment and get a perfect life. Because actually, this is very mysterious. I mean, why the fuck are we alive? Why is it happening? Why all of this? It's a bizarre world. Why war? Why peace? Why growth? Why tree? Why kids? Why bodies mating and then kids being produced? It's all odd. But the person has tried to make it sensible and sane, and then tried to control it and manipulate it. And it believes that it has free will and it has choice and that it exists separately from everything else and can do this. And it's like, you know, those cyclists when it's really strong wind, cycling against the wind and they can't get anywhere. It's impossible. You can't control what's happening. What's happening is always what's happening. Or it's like a cyclist going up a really steep hill. There isn't a method to what I'm talking about. This isn't logical like learning to ride the bike, or learning to be a doctor, or learning to bring up kids, or learning to build a house. This isn't logical. It's a bit weirder than that. I don't understand it. All Lisa does is speak about it. That's just her role, is to speak and point to non-duality. What seemingly can happen is a recognition of this, which isn't by someone, but again, that's really freaking odd. It doesn't really make sense, does it? So this isn't that you're coming here, and I'm really sorry that I charge for these things, and you're learning something and getting something. This is a remembering of, that's not even really a remembering, but it's the nearest word I can find, of the emptiness that's here and the freedom that's here and the fullness as well. But humans are pretty into the fullness of it all. They don't want to know the emptiness. This, and remembering that this is what's happening. This is it. The joy is right here. Screw what's happening tomorrow, or the mortgage, or the da-da-da, or whatever. I mean, it's all going to go wrong in the end. It doesn't matter.
Cheering us up.
Yeah, you're going to lose it all. This is what's happening. This is it. And this is the freedom. What's actually happening? Bum on seat, light on face, or sun on face, or heat on face. It's not even heat on face, but this what actually is. And this is really weird and mysterious. And this is absolutely free. The cage is only in time. But that time thing has become so energetical, it feels really real. That you are someone with a very important life, and there's very scary things that could happen if you don't control it. It'll never be any different from what it's going to be, and you're not controlling it. But we dream. We pretend. I did this. It's still coming in the introduction. We're just having a little break. So we can talk about this, and it might seem like you're answering the questions and I'm answering the questions, and I know things and you don't know things, or I have something and you don't have it. But that's all not true. That's all thoughts. And it might seem like we'll talk about it and you'll get somewhere in the future, or you'll get something in the future, and that's not true either. That's how it might seem. The freedom is right here, right now. And it's amazing, the joy of meaninglessness. I just made that word up. Meaninglessness. The joy of no meaning. It means nothing. This means nothing.